Hey, you like books? Then get Audible. audibletrial.com/AGT. Check it out.
If tomorrow never comes, would she know how much I love
Hello,
her?
and welcome to our 11th episode of our Season 8 rewatch of America's Got Talent. I'm Cody Patterson. Along with me is the guy who is the biggest talent in the world on the biggest podcast in the world. Here's Cody Mims.
Hiya.
How you doing today?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Well, we haven't had any updates recently on the AGT host for season 12.
No.
But Howie Mandel went on The View late last week to kind of talk about the upcoming season, talk about Nick Cannon, and he made a plea to Nick Cannon that he wants him to stick around.
Yeah. Everyone should watch the video of this because it's heartbreaking seeing him up there. I mean, he cares about Nick Cannon a lot.
He does. It sounds like they're really good friends.
Yeah, I'm sure they are.
I was reading something today that they actually still call each other. They don't talk shop. They don't talk about the show. They just talk about what's going on in their lives. Nick just had a new son, Golden Cannon.
Oh, really?
Yes, Golden Cannon. And they just kind of just talk about stuff, and he just wants Nick to come back. He also mentioned that with Nick not being on there, Nick was the only American on America's Got Talent.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. There was also a tweet that went out today, and if you go to our AGTcast Twitter feed, you can see where it was a retweet by us from Taylor Williamson. But it was also the original tweet was from a guy named Jonathan Benjamin. And he just kind of threw out some possible hosts for the upcoming season. And I just kind of want to go through and talk about these, see what we thought.
All right.
He listed off Kevin Hart, Taylor Williamson, Neil Patrick Harris, and Ryan Seacrest.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of any of those?
I don't really like Kevin Hart that much, but I don't think he would be a bad host. I mean, he could probably pull it off pretty well. It'd be interesting to see him try. Do you know Kevin Hart very well?
I know of his comedy. If they're trying to go safe because of all the stuff they've been going on with Nick, I think they would want to avoid Kevin Hart because of his own stand-up comedy. I agree that he could probably be a very good host. He would be very funny on the show. But if they're trying to avoid any more controversy than they've already had, I would think they'd want to steer clear of Kevin Hart.
Okay. I haven't heard much controversy around him, but yeah. Taylor Williamson, obviously, I would love. We brought that up a couple weeks ago. I'd be very happy with that, even if, he doesn't have the star power to bring in new viewers.
I would enjoy Taylor Williamson as well. I mean, you're right. He doesn't have the star power, but he definitely has the relationship with 3 of the 4 judges so far. I think he would be able to react very easily. I think he would get along with all the performers very easily. I think that would be a very good choice.
Yeah, I think he would be one of the most distinct host personalities on TV, really. So, I mean, maybe people would start watching it just for that weird host guy.
That's true, yeah. What about Neil Patrick Harris?
Neil Patrick Harris has done an NBC show before that kind of aired next to America's Got Talent called Best Time Ever. I never watched it. I'm not sure how he did in there. I like Neil Patrick Harris in general. I watch a few things that he's on. And I think he could do a good job. I would like if they did that, and I think this is actually one of those choices that we hadn't thought about before, but I think is actually probably a real possibility.
I agree. I really like Neil Patrick Harris as well. I remember him all the way back to Doogie Howser. Do you know Doogie Howser?
Yeah, I've heard of him.
Well, he played the character Doogie Howser back in the 80s and early 90s. He's kind of a prodigy kid that became a doctor at like 16. That's kind of where he got his big break, was there. And then, of course, How I Met Your Mother. But I think he's also hosted some award shows. Hasn't he hosted Emmys or Grammys or one of those? I think he's done that. So he's at least familiar with hosting a show.
Yeah, I think so.
And then what about Ryan Seacrest? I think you kind of talked about a little bit about that last week.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. That'd be a terrible choice. I don't want America's Got Talent to be any more like American Idol. We don't need more of those personalities coming in here.
It'd be a reunion between him and Simon.
I know, and we'd have to hear about it all the time. I know it sounds bad to say, no American Idol in my AGT, but that show's just so boring. And Ryan Seacrest, I think, would also be a very boring host. I don't know.
Oh, okay, so it sounds like for us, we would like to see either Taylor or Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah,
we'd be good with either one of those.
Definitely.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, you ready to talk some semifinals week 2?
Yes.
All right, semifinals week 2. We are almost done. We have this, and we have finals week. We are almost to the end.
Yeah.
Well, if we get right into our acts. Oh, before we get started on that, just a reminder, you can reach out to us with any comments about any of this on Twitter or Facebook at AGTcast. Also, send us an email, agtcast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. We've gone the whole season now. We haven't heard from anyone, but we'd love to hear from you about what's gone on this season. So reach out to us. So we start off with D'Angelo and Amanda. And we open up with Heidi, and she said that when he opens his cape, that they can win this whole thing.
I don't know. I mean, I guess, their last performance was really good, but I don't know if it's in a way that everyone is going to talk about.
I agreed. I think there's way other performers out there that are better than this. I don't think they can win the whole thing, but it's Heidi. Who are we fooling? We find out. Yeah. We find out that Ruby told Amanda that they'll be rooting for them, but don't tell D'Angelo. Don't let him know that she'll be pulling for her brother.
Yeah.
Ruby said that she'll vote for them if they look good, but if they don't, she's not going to vote for them. And of course, D'Angelo is still confused by America's response that they're working on it. Quote.
Yeah. I guess she just pulled that out. Surprise. Probably she felt pressured by everything, but I don't know.
Yeah, I have a feeling that production's just still kind of pressuring her on things, and she doesn't really know how to respond, so that's probably the best thing that she can come up with.
Yeah. They should just start bargaining for it and asking for votes.
That's right. We'll tell you if you vote for us.
Yeah.
Each time you put us through the next round, we'll give you a little bit more information. As far as their performance, they went with kind of a future Technica theme.
Mm-hmm.
They danced to Michael Jackson's Smooth Criminal. What'd you think of this?
I wasn't super big on the theme of it. I don't know. The song is kind of minimalist in a way. It's, I don't know. It just wasn't too exciting.
No, I agree with you. I like their quarterfinals performance much better than this.
Yeah, me too.
They had some a puddle of water that they danced in, kind of did a little river dance type thing where they danced in water. I just didn't feel it was not very strong performance. It didn't seem as sharp as the one they did in quarterfinals. It just I felt that it was not a good way to start the show.
Yeah, it feels like water's kind of a common theme for dancers. I don't know why.
Well, it's kind of the effect that it provides. You know, they're kind of splashing around in it. It's supposed to have, one of the judges commented on this too, that water is supposed to add a little bit more difficulty to it because it's slippery. It could also kind of slow you down. So it's supposed to add difficulty, and it's got a really cool effect to it.
Yeah. So I don't know. It just seems like he's kind of splashing around.
Yeah, I agree. It didn't add a lot to me. The judges seemed to really like it in general. I just didn't feel it was a very strong way to start the show.
Yeah, me neither.
Okay, you got anything for D'Angelo and Amanda?
That's all.
Well, we move right into the man of the hour, Marty Brown. The guy everybody's been waiting to see.
Mm-hmm.
We hear Howard say Marty is a great entertainer, but sometimes people's nerves get to them. He got lucky, and he better not blow it this time.
Yeah.
Howie said, if you can't deal with the pressure, then you are beyond your level of competition. Marty said he went back and reevaluated everything. All he can do is come back like Rocky did in Rocky 2.
Yeah.
Did you see Rocky and Rocky 2?
I think I've only seen like Rocky 4 or something.
Rocky 4 with the Russian?
Yeah.
Well, in Rocky, and Marty Brown tells us this, spoiler alert for those that have not seen the movie Rocky, but Rocky actually loses at the end of the movie.
Okay.
And then in Rocky 2, he comes back and fights Apollo Creed again, and spoiler alert, he wins.
Cool.
So he's trying to compare himself to Rocky, that he didn't do very well, but he's coming back. He's coming back a champion this time.
Yeah.
And he thanked America for saving him. So he sang Bless the Broken Road by Rascal Flatts.
Yeah. The bar was so low going into this performance.
It was. The only direction he could go was up. But was it far enough up to compete with everybody else, is the question.
Yeah. I don't think so. I didn't think it was that great.
You didn't think it was that great? No, it was definitely in an improvement from his last performance. It did help that they didn't have his daddy in the intro video. But I don't think that it's going to be strong enough for him to move on.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, we just got to forget about the last performance. It's, I mean, this is where we are right now.
That is true. Howard said he did not play to his wife, but he was playing more to the audience. But he played it safe by picking this song. He wanted to hear his vocal range. Did you feel he was kind of the right song, or did it matter?
No, I agree with that.
Would it have mattered if he'd picked a different song? I mean, could Marty Brown have moved on at any point from this performance?
I mean, the singing could use some work too, I think, but yeah, another song and more power would have been better, I think.
Yeah, that is true. Kind of compared to what Jimmy Rose did when we get to him later on in the show.
Yeah.
Okay, do you have anything else for Marty Brown?
Nope, that's all.
Well, then we get into the Chicago Boys, and they showed their hurt performer, and he felt he felt that he let the group down. They brought in a new guy.
Mm-hmm.
But they were saying that this guy, the one that broke his leg, he's the one that does all the amazing tricks, and now they lost him. But they're going to have to step it up. And this is the performance I felt they should have started the show with.
Oh, really?
Oh, there was so much energy. They brought in cheerleaders. They performed to Robin Thicke's "Blurred Lines," which, we've heard this before. How Robin Thicke was actually on the show a few weeks ago singing this song. They did jump rope routines. This act was just full of energy. What'd you think?
It's interesting that you say that. I thought it was much too slow for the first part. It didn't have the same speed as their other performances, I thought. The song was pretty slow also, and it's also just bad, but it's I don't know. I kind of felt like it was I was watching it in slow motion or something, but it did pick up. I thought the ending was very cool, and they just had the giant stack of people, and then the great graceful jumps that they did at the end too were great.
No, the jump rope part was definitely the highlight of the performance. You're right that this song is just bad. It was the wrong song. They should have done something a little more up tempo. I have a feeling that this was more production saying they should have sang this song. I'm pretty sure the Chicago Boys would not have picked this song.
Yeah.
It just doesn't seem like it's something up their alley. But for me, it was fun to watch. I think they should have started the show with this. I think it would have had a lot more energy to it, and Howie's praised production in the past about how they've started the show and how they've ended the show, and they've picked the right performances to start and end the show, and I think production missed it on this one.
So you did not like this performance?
I did like this performance. I think it should have been at the beginning of the show.
Okay.
And not D'Angelo and Amanda.
Yeah, okay.
So I think they did great. Didn't think it was enough for them to move on. This whole episode was just action packed though. I mean, it was just packed full of talent.
Mm-hmm.
I could kind of see this as a Vegas act. I think that they are varied. I think they have a lot of different things that they can do with the acrobats and the jump ropes, and they even have a little boy that they use as a jump rope. I could definitely see this as a Vegas act just because of all the different stuff they can do and all the energy that they have.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah. Anything else for Chicago Boys?
This song I think was probably around the top 10 when they did this. I don't know. I'm not
like on the charts.
Yeah,
Okay.
It came out in 2013, so it was probably around the same time. So might have been why they picked it.
That the Chicago Boys picked it, or the production picked it?
Either one. I don't know. I mean, you do what you can to go through, I guess.
Yeah. You try to play to what's current.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, you ready to move on to Leon Etienne?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we get Leon Etienne and Rami Lowe, and this is Howard's. This was Howard's wildcard pick.
Yeah.
In the intro, they were so grateful that Howard brought them back. Howard said they had a bad night, and he said he wants to see them pick up the speed, go into overdrive.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
What did you think of their performance?
It was classic. I feel like they pretty much did just what Howard asked, so I thought it was pretty neat.
Yeah, they did a bunch of small tricks. Instead of kind of doing one trick and build up, similar to what they did in the quarterfinals, they just picked a bunch of classic small tricks and did them instead.
Yeah.
For me, it didn't quite do it for me because, again, it was fast-paced. That's what he wanted. But it really wasn't anything groundbreaking. It wasn't anything we haven't seen before. And
No.
I think at this point, we want to see tricks that we've never seen before. And in season 11, I know this is season 8, but season 11, we saw a whole routine of quick changes.
Yeah.
And there was a quick change in this routine as well.
Yeah.
So,
well,
anyway,
that sounds like an improvement.
Of going from one quick change to a whole performance of quick changes?
No, to doing a whole bunch of different things. I mean, you're saying you want things that we don't know how they're done, right? I don't know.
Yeah, what I'm saying is these were a lot of small performances that magicians have done forever. Making people disappear, doing the quick change, all kinds of stuff. I wanted to see something new, something we've never seen before. I guess you could consider it new that they did 9 different tricks in 90 seconds or 7 tricks in 90 seconds. I guess that is kind of impressive, but it didn't do anything for me.
Yeah, this act is not going to fool any world-class magicians, but that's true of a lot of acts at this, even at the semifinals level. And I don't know. I probably wouldn't have voted for it, but it was fine.
It was fun. It was fun to watch.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. I can understand that. Howard said that he doesn't believe in wild cards, but tonight it worked.
Yeah, that was interesting. I don't. I mean, it's a fair viewpoint.
Yeah, he's of the opinion that once you're eliminated, you're done. There's no second chances.
Yeah. I mean, he could just waste his if he really wanted to.
That is true. He could just say, my wild card is to not bring anyone back. Not doing it.
My wild card is that guy with all the puns.
Just Sully Dunn. That's my wild card. Yeah, we talked about Sully Dunn last week. Howie actually gave a standing ovation to Howard. Said he made the best choice. It is the best wild card.
Yeah, who was Howie's?
Howie brought back, and I'm glad you asked me that so that I can go look it up. Was it Red Panda?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you're saying, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, this was definitely better than Red Panda, I will say that.
Yeah.
And Howard and Howie have kind of been going at each other all season long. They've had this little bickering thing going on all season. And we had hashtag makeup kiss this time.
Yeah, it was very sweet.
Yes, they're trying to make up. So
Howie kissing Howard's wife was the funniest part.
Yes, and it was interesting that he let Howard even get that close to him, as much of a germaphobe as he is.
Mm-hmm.
There's no telling what all's in those curly locks of Howard's.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else for Leon Etienne and Rami and Lowe?
That's it.
Okay. We were told that Tone will be touring with the AGT tour.
Yeah. It's some star power there.
That's right. He's raising the bar of the AGT tour.
Yeah, I bet he had fun with that.
Would he do this? I know he does the same song, but would he actually do the same act each week? Like, would he do it differently each city he went to?
No, if you're touring, it's probably pretty much the same. I don't know.
That is true. I mean, they probably can only have so many props they can take with them.
Yeah.
Okay, then we get into Anna Christine, and she talked about how she got off time in her last performance. She started to get nervous, and she contemplated crying and running off the stage.
Yeah.
She decided to remove the piano from this performance. She wanted to just take that piece out of her, take the variable out of her performance of not having to do anything else. She just wanted to sing. She sang Wild Horses by the Rolling Stones.
Yeah. This wasn't bad.
No, this was actually pretty good. I wasn't that familiar with Wild Horses, so I went and listened to it. And both of them sounded, I mean, she kind of gave it her own a little bit, but she was. I was afraid that what she was singing was way too slow. It just wasn't right. But when I would listen to it, it's actually a slow song, and I think she hit the mark on it.
Well, cool.
She did have a string octet and a piano behind her. So this time, in semifinals week 1, all the musicians went minimalist. It was either just them with their instrument or maybe one other performer. I think this time they went bigger. All the performances went bigger.
Yeah.
Which I thought was kind of, just a different take from what happened last week.
Uh-huh.
Mel B said, "Now we're talking. All the singers better be really scared."
Yeah.
They liked her quality, the control of her voice. They keep talking about her age and how young she is, but how mature her voice is.
Mm-hmm.
Howard did a name drop, said he's going to call John Bon Jovi to come sing with her. I'm not sure where in the world that came from. I'm not sure why John Bon Jovi would come and sing with Anna Christine.
Yeah, maybe he misidentified the song.
That's true. Maybe he did. So, yeah, maybe he meant Mick Jagger.
Yeah.
Which I think probably would have been a little weird. But John Bon Jovi's probably closer in size to Anna Christine than Mick Jagger.
Yeah, well, if she went to the finals, maybe she'll get to sing with one of them.
That is true. You'll just have to wait and see. You'll have to wait and find out. Heidi said she has a sneaky suspicion that she has the strongest voice of the night. I think she was a little premature on that.
Maybe so. I don't know. I guess I agree with her.
You thought it was the strongest voice of the night?
Yeah, I think so. None of the singers really stood out to me. Who are you thinking of?
I was thinking of Brandon James.
Oh, okay. I mean, the power was there, but was the passion?
Yeah. That's true. We'll find out.
We gotta answer.
That's right. Okay. Anything else for Anna Christine?
Nope.
We get into now Kenichi Abina, and he says he doesn't consider himself a dancer. To compete, he has to use his brain.
Yeah, that's true.
He says he's always thinking about the next act. Howard says he's a natural. Heidi says Kenichi is a superstar, and his act is about precision.
Yeah, he's so cool.
He is so cool. He is really, really good. He came out holding a jam box or boom box, wherever you're from. You know what that is?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. That was kind of a product of the 80s. Just want to see if you're familiar with that.
Right.
When he came out, it looked like he was in front of a mirror.
Yeah.
Did you think that this was a direct reflection of Kenichi Abina when you first saw it?
The mirror effect was really amazing. It actually had me fooled.
It had me fooled for a little bit, and then I kind of noticed a few clues. There was a few little missteps, but then I caught on real quickly that it was a projection. But still, overall, the whole thing was really cool.
Yeah, Kenichi is such a refined talent. He's very skilled, and it was just really good. And the after show on the screen was clever also.
Yeah, it was. My favorite part, though, well, in addition to that, was when he swapped places with his mirror image.
Mm-hmm. It might not be the same Kenichi now.
It may not be. It could be It could be alternate universe Kenichi.
Yeah.
Could be evil Kenichi for all we know.
Yeah.
But you're right. At the after show, when they're interviewing him, the projection's still going.
Yeah, that was it's innovative.
Yeah, how long do you think he recorded that to make it go?
Yeah, it was really long. I don't know if he planned that out. Like, like the Spice Girls thing or whatever he was gonna do, or if it was all just improv. I don't know.
You think he knew he needed to go like an extra 2 or 3 minutes and just made sure and padded it with like 5 minutes of stuff?
Yeah, it's classic Kenichi.
Yeah, this was greatness. You're right though. He's so precise. He takes it so seriously.
Yeah. I wonder what he's doing now. I want to see him.
Well, I wouldn't know. We'll find out.
Okay.
Howie said he is the biggest talent. This is the biggest talent show in the world, and he is the biggest talent in the show.
Yeah.
He's a comedian.
True
he's
that.
a dancer. He's a mime. He's a writer. He's an artist. He's the whole package.
Yeah, it's very, very cool. I don't think anyone can replicate him.
I completely agree with that. There is no way anyone else even comes close to the talent that this guy has.
Yeah.
Howard said he doesn't know how America's going to figure this out. We have seen the strongest semifinals in AGT history.
Dang.
Heidi says elevating dance to a whole new level. He's a genius. Mel B said it's mind-blowing. And she wants to see this show in Vegas.
Yeah, I do too.
I do too. I think this is great. I mean, there's no telling what he can come up with.
Yeah.
It was great to kind of have him right in the middle of the show here. I think it really helped kind of elevate it a little bit.
Yeah, I can't wait to see him in the finals.
Or does he make it to the finals?
We'll see.
We'll have to find out. You have to tune in and find out. Okay, anything else for Kenichi?
Nope.
Okay. Then we get into John Wing, the other comedian, the only other one left in the show. Says he's been on stage thousands and thousands of times, but a second performance at Radio City Music Hall is the most amazing thing.
Yeah.
Howard said he's doing a brilliant job at being edgy, a little rough around the edges. He's still charming people and getting them to vote, and really wants him to go to the distance.
Yeah, I don't agree on the edginess part of it, but...
You don't think he's edgy?
No, not at all.
Okay. He says he's generally an angry person, and it's very helpful on stage. Mel B says he's a very funny guy.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like the jokes that he went with tonight. He went more with marriage jokes. Last week he went more with kids jokes. I thought this was absolutely hilarious.
Okay. To me it kind of seemed like, I don't know, very standard marriage jokes, like almost cliche. So I was kind of disappointed by that.
Really? You think
Yeah.
this is kind of any stand-up comedian type stuff does?
Yeah, I do. And it makes me sad because I actually really like his diction and delivery. I just wish he had more ambitious material. So I don't know if he is sort of censoring himself for AGT and there's more out there I might like better. But it's disappointing for me. It feels like he's really holding back. I think Taylor can do quite a bit better with what he does.
Okay. I can understand what you're saying. He might be holding back a little. He has told us that pretty much his material is family-related stuff. Not family-friendly, which is what Heidi wants, but family-related. More father, husband, that type stuff. That's where his jokes and his humor is.
Yeah. I mean, it just feels too everyday for me. Like, it's kind of just talking about stuff that happens. I mean, it's, it's, I don't know. I want him to do more.
Okay. Heidi did say he's every man's man, so that's probably what you're getting at. Howard said he's not hacky.
Yeah.
Do you feel he's a hacky comic, or?
I do. I don't know why Howard likes him so much. It's
okay.
It doesn't seem like Howard Stern type of thing, but I don't know. Just like can you imagine if he did jokes about like his drug addiction and stuff? It could be so good.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think of that. Kind of his history back when he was doing comedy in the early days.
Yeah, I know it's very heavy subject matter. I don't actually expect him to do it on AGT, but I think I would like it a lot more because he seems good at, I don't know, like you said, like telling stories, but the stories that he's telling are very boring.
Okay. You may be right that he's kind of holding it back a little bit for NBC. They're saying he's edgy. You know, it's hot, but edgy for Heidi is kind of it's a very low bar. So even though comedy is her favorite category, okay, I can see where you're coming from. That's valid points.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of on the outside with this one. Not really a popular opinion, I guess.
That's okay. You know, like Howie says, comedy is subjective. It seems Taylor is more your style of comedy, and I can totally understand that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even style so much. Just, I mean, he has more my style, but the style I think is good. It's material. Just talk about something else, please.
Okay, fair enough. Okay. Anything else for John Wing?
Nope.
Okay. We're told that I Illuminate and Fall Out Boy are going to be on the results show.
Yeah. Do you think I Illuminate holds up with all the similar kinds of acts we've seen?
I do. I do. Yes, I think that they do hold up. I don't think we've seen, unless you can think of one, anything that's similar to it.
It's just kind of a general like a light up, dance trend. Like CROA comes to mind. I'm not sure.
And I haven't seen them, so
yeah, it just feels like there's one kind of every year, except maybe not this year, but yeah. Well, I mean, we had the ones with the light up screens. I guess is kind of what I would draw a comparison to this year.
Okay, so is I Illuminate the silhouettes of that type of style of dance?
Well, I think
did I Illuminate kind of set the bar on that?
For me, they did, because I think they were in the first season that I watched, but I think their history can actually be traced back to like Fighting Gravity. I think is a pretty similar one. So
yes, that's true.
Yeah, I Illuminate was my favorite act the year they were on. So to me, it's like that, but I don't know.
Yeah, watching them in the results, and I'll talk a little bit about it when we get there. I still enjoy watching them. I mean, I haven't had a chance to see them in person, but anytime they come on a show, I really enjoy watching it.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I haven't seen them in a very long time.
Okay. I was not excited to hear about Fall Out Boy. I'm just not that familiar with their stuff, so...
Okay.
Okay, then we get Brandon James.
Yeah.
And it says, it's amazing to think that one opportunity can change your life so much. He's mended so many fences with his family. And parents have reached out to him and told him that they were reminded to reach out and establish a relationship with their kids.
Yeah, that's very nice. He said that's a dream come true already. I hope he still carries that with him.
I agree. I think that's, we talk about sob stories. I think that's a really good story that parents have kind of seen the relationship or kind of seen what he's gone through and reached out and said, I need to kind of reach out to my kids some more and mend any differences that I have with them. That's really good.
Yeah.
Heidi said that she loves Brandon James. He has a natural gift and gives her chills.
Uh-huh.
Now, he sang the song Alone by Heart.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with this song?
I kind of recognize it. I'm not sure where I know it from. Kind kind of curious.
Yeah, I don't know if it's probably been in movies or TV shows over the time. I mean, it's an old song from the 80s. So you've probably heard it here and there. I can't say it's one of those that really sticks out as a famous song. So yeah, you probably have heard it. The interesting thing that he did in this is he started off like Forte did, started off singing it in Spanish.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a really cool twist on it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I didn't really totally recognize the song until he'd moved away from the Spanish to the English version. The tune sounded very familiar to me, but I couldn't quite place it. Kind of like you said, you've probably heard it. The tune was like, where do I recognize that tune? And then he went to English. I'm like, okay, now I know what song that is.
Mm-hmm.
Did you happen to notice his wardrobe and his hair? This just really stuck out to me for some reason.
I did notice the hair.
Yeah, what was going on with that? They all of a sudden like spiked his hair and they like gave him a real skinny suit.
Yeah.
It felt like he looked like Robin Thicke.
Yeah, it wasn't his best look, I think.
No, I didn't care for that at all. And I don't know why, this all of a sudden stuck out to me, but this guy seems very, very down-to-earth type guy, and doesn't seem like the type of guy that would spike his hair and, I don't know. Something just didn't feel right about the way he looked.
Yeah, he hasn't really had the same kind of Jonathan Allen transformation.
That is true. Yeah, you don't think that Stardom's all of a sudden gotten to him like it did for Jonathan Allen?
No, I think he's just happy with his family.
I agree. I completely agree with that. He also went with a small orchestra behind him. They were all dressed in white and had some white instruments. Heidi said that she was sweating with him while he was singing.
Yeah.
Does that even make sense to you?
Once she explained it, yeah.
Okay, I guess I still didn't get it, but try to explain it to me again and see if I can.
She was just nervous for him.
Oh, she was nervous for him. Okay, I completely missed that. Okay, I didn't think he was nervous at all.
Yeah, I mean, me neither.
Mel B said the camera loves him. He looks really cute on camera tonight. She was looking on Twitter. People don't know who to vote for.
Mm-hmm.
Howie said the competition tonight is mind-boggling. Again, it's one of the toughest nights they've ever seen. He just raised the bar.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't really talked about his actual singing that much, but I probably would not agree with that.
Oh, that's true. I guess we didn't talk about his singing much. Well, what'd you think of his singing? Let's go back to that.
I thought it sounded too yelly, and it wasn't a good arrangement. I think some of the judges kind of touched on that, but yeah, just the notes did not land for me.
Do you think his singing is more about the power?
Yeah, that's what Howard said. I mean, I think he was probably right. He just didn't love this song. I don't know. Something was off.
It did feel like he was more like he was just trying to power out the notes. They said that he didn't have the passion behind the notes, behind the singing. I think he does have the most powerful voice. I don't think Anna Christine has the most powerful voice. I think he does. That doesn't necessarily mean that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you can be as loud as you want, but if you're right, you're not hitting the notes and you're not feeling the passion, then it doesn't really do any good.
Yeah, if he gets to the next round, I think Forte's going to knock him out.
Okay, we'll just have to wait and see. Teaser for the results.
Okay.
Anything else for Brandon James?
Nope.
Well, then we get into the guys that were supposed to perform last week, the Kristoff brothers.
Yeah. They are just comedians through and through, as we can see in their intro.
Yes, they really enjoy what they do. They kind of live it. That's not just who they are on stage. That's who they are in life.
Yeah.
Chris told us that he was supposed to do a handstand and let go of Stefan's hands, and he said there was some hesitation, and that's what made him fall on his neck.
Yeah.
He said they're used to pain. It just kind of goes with the territory. It's kind of funny. They were showing clips of Stefan kind of taking care of his friend, his brother, Chris, while he had a neck brace on. Just kind of sitting in the hotel.
Mm-hmm. It was good.
It was good. Yeah, that was pretty funny. In their performance, they come out to the song The Final Countdown.
Yeah.
Do you think this is the final countdown for the Kristoff brothers?
I guess so. They probably won't go on, I guess.
Okay.
But I liked it. I thought it was a pretty cool act.
I thought it was a lot of fun. They said they were going to do the trick that put Chris in the hospital. They do some sword swallowing while they're doing their hand balancing. They were wearing capes. Chris even wore the neck brace for a little while. So they were even making fun of themselves.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Did you see that?
I don't think I picked up on that.
Yeah, he was wearing the neck brace. We actually found out in the results show. We'll just go ahead and skip to that. Just cover that real quick. He was actually wearing a bedazzled neck brace.
Oh, that's cool.
So, we found out that the swords that they were doing the sword swallowing weren't real swords.
Yeah.
They're collapsible swords.
Yeah, that was funny. Was there anything going on with their chair that they did the bouncing on? That chair was nailed to the ground, right?
It had to have been. It was either nailed to the ground or some way it was supported to the ground. And then it had a strap in the seat so that, Stefan could put his feet into so they could lean back.
Okay. But just the thing that they were talking about giving away the trick was the swords?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that was good. I mean, I liked that they did that because I don't think their job is to fool us.
Well, they even said that. They said, what we do, we don't take it seriously. We give away the secrets.
Yeah.
We
I like that.
We pull back the curtain is kind of what they're saying.
Right. I mean, all the things that we're seeing them do, they really can do. They're not like magicians. So I think it was, I don't know. I like that they sort of struck that balance or whatever.
Yeah, I'm starting to come around on them a little bit more. I think I was down on them early on. And I think now that we we know how dangerous the act is, but I think I'm coming around to kind of their comedy. I can kind of see their entertainment. So I really enjoyed watching this, especially with the collapsible swords and wearing the bedazzled neck brace. I thought it was really kind of funny.
Yeah, as I recall, you liked them since auditions.
Oh, maybe I had. Okay. I thought I've been down on them. See, I can't even keep track of what I like and what I don't like. I'm glad I keep
There's
notes
a lot
on
of
all
acts.
this. It's a lot. Yeah, you're right. We've talked about a lot of acts.
In a pretty short time, too.
That is true. We've shoved a lot in here, but I'm glad I take notes on all this, or else I wouldn't know what in the world I'm talking about. I could be talking about Sully Dunn right now and not even know it.
Yeah. Well, I guess next we have American Military Space Esquire.
Yes, we do. That's right.
Okay.
We found out one of their soloists had a little girl a week ago.
Oh.
And I think I asked in the last show they were on, how long does she make it?
Oh,
will
yeah.
Will she be in the next performance? Well, we find out she will not be in this performance. They actually brought in an active duty service member who has a husband in the Navy, and she's a sergeant in the Army.
Cool.
They also received a letter from Jill Biden talking about what an inspiration they are.
That's cool.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of cool. Then they sang the song Angel by Sarah McLachlan.
Yeah. I didn't like this song.
Oh, okay.
But,
Yeah, go ahead.
not really breaking anyone's expectations here, I'm sure.
Okay. Throughout the whole song, I mean, I liked it. I thought they did a fantastic job. I mean, the harmonies and the choir and the soloists, I thought it was a fantastic thing. Throughout the whole song, though, the only thing I could picture are those commercials that Sarah McLachlan does with dogs in the pound cages.
Yeah, you're right.
Adopt a dog. That's the only thing I could think of.
Yeah, so I don't know. I didn't really like the performance.
Okay. I did like kind of what they this time they wore choker collars that had the branch of military that their spouse is in, kind of like they did last time where they had the robe stoles with the branch on it. So they kind of talk about they kind of highlight what branch their spouse is in. I think that's kind of cool.
Uh-huh.
As far as a choir, I think they're legit. I think they're an excellent choir. I agree with you. I think they picked the wrong song.
Okay. Interesting.
Would you have felt better about it if they'd picked a different song?
Maybe, but never been super hot on them. I wasn't really looking forward to the performance anyway.
Okay. Have you been kind of down on the choirs the whole time?
Yeah, I mean, it's just people don't listen to choirs. Why are people voting for choirs just because they step on the stage?
It's a lot about the story, and the judges kind of talk about that too, about their story.
Yeah.
It's great who they are. It's great what they do, but they've got to judge them on their talent.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm such a downer on this stuff. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the Virginia State University Gospel Chorale, and I'm sure we had another one way back when that we've had 3 choirs.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I would have been happier if they'd kind of picked something different, because I think they're a legit choir.
Okay.
So Howard thought it was pleasant, felt more like a USO tour.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
You don't know what the USO is?
No.
The USO is, I think it stands for United Service Organization. Let me make sure I get that right. United Service Organizations, yes. So it's actually gone. It's part of the military. I think it's actually part of the military that has gone back to around World War II. And the purpose of the USO is they get entertainers, singers, comedians. Bob Hope was a big person that would do USO stuff. And the whole purpose of the USO is to go over and entertain our troops overseas.
Okay.
It's a really cool organization. So they'll get, again, singers and comedians and different types of entertainers. They'll go over and see our troops and just entertain them.
All right, cool.
So yeah, it's a really cool organization that's been around a really long time.
Okay.
So, okay. Anything else for the AMSC?
No.
Okay. We then get Timber Brown. He says there's no feeling like the feeling he felt when they announced his name last time.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yep. He loved having his mom there. He loved her being sober. People look at his story and say that he's a sob story. He says he's a success story.
Yeah, I suppose he is.
Can you say about yourself that you are a success story?
That I am a success story?
No, yeah. Can you announce that yourself is a success? That's even a proper sentence. Can you tell someone that you are a success story?
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
you think so? Okay.
He's proud of his mom.
Okay. it felt weird it just felt weird to say I am a success story.
Yeah. I mean, I guess he could have said she's a success story. I don't know.
That is true. Or people see me as a success story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just seem a little haughty to say that I am a success story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Okay. He says in his spare time he works with kids. That's really cool.
Yeah.
They showed a little clip of him doing his pole routine in front of some kids out on a street.
Uh-huh.
He said his performance this time will be more high energy.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I agree.
I think I agree with you that we don't think it's a more high energy.
Okay.
What he does is he comes up from the floor on a rope, hanging from a rope, and he's hovered over a pool. And my first thought was, is this now a Professor Splash routine?
Yeah.
And he would kind of climb the rope a little bit. He got tangled in the rope at one point.
Yeah.
He would then fall into the water, and then they'd raise him back up. He'd do some more acrobats. He'd fall in the water again.
Mm-hmm.
This just didn't look as good as what we've seen before.
Yeah, I don't think making the pool the focus of this act was a good idea. It just wasn't. I don't know. He just went. He dropped down into the pool and then he got back out, and it took up too much time. I'm not really sure why he did it. It's interesting that you mentioned Professor Splash. I would have liked it if that was just sort of the ending, the big finish, like he's up high and then he just sort of drops a distance into the pool. I think would have been cool. But there was too much pool action. It didn't really pay off. I kind of would have liked to see more distance around the stage if he could maybe sort of operate in 3 dimensions more. I think like swinging from curtain to curtain could have been cool or something like that. I don't know. It was kind of disappointing.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. It was disappointing, and now that you mention that, I think it would have been cool as well to see him kind of swing from one thing to another. I didn't even think of that. That would have been a lot more fun to see, to kind of him take up more of the stage, fill the stage, and then at the very end fall into the water.
Yeah.
It also didn't help that he was kind of getting tangled and caught in the rope. And there's a lot of downtime. I think you mentioned that. A lot of downtime from when he would fall and then have to raise back up. Probably half of his routine was him coming back up out of the water.
Yeah, it was a clunky move.
Yeah, I completely agree. Of course, Heidi said she loved it. Mel B thought it was magnificent. So they all seem to like it. All the judges seem to get it. You and I are apparently the only ones that don't get it.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anything else for Timber Brown?
No.
Well, we finish off the show with Jimmy Rose. He said he had no idea they were going to call his name last week. We see him driving his truck and riding a 4-wheeler.
Mm-hmm.
People back home are calling him the Garth Brooks of Pineville.
Yeah. Yeah.
They said that he's a true artist. Said a true artist can take a song and make it their own. Mel B said she's not sure about him. And he said he doesn't regret singing that song at all.
Yeah. His last performance I thought was pretty good.
I agree. I think I liked his performance as well. I've kind of liked him every week that he has sang.
Yeah. This one I thought was not too spectac. But do you like it?
Well, he sang If Tomorrow Never Comes by Garth Brooks, which is one of my top 5 all-time favorite songs.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, this is just, it's way up there. I absolutely love this song. by Garth Brooks. So the bar was already high for me.
Okay.
To me, it sounded like though he was trying too hard to sing it. You know, he was adding a lot of reverb that didn't seem to need to be there. He was kind of breaking notes that didn't need to be broken. It just sounded like he was trying to make it country.
Yeah, that's a good analysis.
This is a very smooth song, and just the way he was kind of breaking it just distracted me. I like him. I like Jimmy Rose. I think he's fantastic. I've always thought this whole show, this whole season, I thought, you know, they've sang these songs that I don't know, and I'm like, I wish they would sing songs that I know, like Garth Brooks and George Strait and all these type guys. Well, they finally sing one, and then I'm totally ripping it apart. So,
yeah, well, I mean, that's how it goes, I guess. Were you expecting him to go through?
This night was okay. They were all saying that this whole show was jam-packed with talent. And after it was all over, I'm like, was it? I mean, you know, there are a lot of talented people in this show, but I didn't feel, except for maybe like Kenichi, maybe Kenichi, maybe, let me see,
Kristoff Brothers?
Maybe Kristoff Brothers, possibly the Chicago Boys. You know, maybe 2 or 3 I thought were exceptional. You know, I did like the American Military Spouses Choir, but they missed it on the song. But as far as just across the board being exceptional, there's probably only 2 performances in this that I was really wowed by.
Yeah, well, I agree with you.
So, except for those 2, if I had to pick 2 others, you know, I might have picked Jimmy Rose, you know, say Kristoff Brothers and Kenichi. I might have picked John Wing to go through. But everyone likes Brandon James. Everyone likes Kristoff Brothers. Everyone likes Timber Brown. Jimmy Rose. Marty Brown I don't think was good enough to go through on this. So, again, as jam-packed as everyone said this was with talent, I didn't see it.
Yeah.
So, well, then we will get right into the results show.
Okay.
And Nick told us that they had the highest number of votes for the entire season.
Wow. Guess America thought it was jam-packed.
I guess so. We see some clips from the previous night. We see Howard goes and talks to the acts, tells them not to break a leg.
Oh my gosh.
They showed Howard and Howie fighting again.
Yeah.
Howie asking Howard if Marty Brown is going to break under the pressure.
What is this fixation that Howie has with Marty Brown?
I have no idea. And I think Howard said that he'll be fine.
Okay.
But it's hard to tell. Jimmy Rose saying that pressure is now on him after he watched Marty Brown perform.
Okay.
Do you think Jimmy Rose was worried at all after watching Marty Brown perform?
I don't know. He seems humble enough, I guess.
That's true. Well, I mean, you can say the pressure's on him, but you think deep down he's like, I got this.
Maybe so. I don't know
Okay.
country well enough to analyze it, I think.
Fair enough. They show Howie getting the willies after his almost kissed with Howard.
What does that entail?
I think he was just kind of like squirmy and...
Okay.
Howie asked Howard to dinner. They kind of had a little flirtmance going on between performances.
Okay.
Marty Brown now has a nickname for Brandon James.
What is that?
Powerhouse.
Yeah. Okay.
It's fitting.
Yeah.
Howie then said it was the best night in AGT history as far as talent.
Yeah. I don't know.
And then he made a really weird observation. Howie said that tonight is not about us, because he and Howard, again, were going back and forth and talking about how Howie is not, always saying you're going through, da-da-da. And Howie's like, it's not about us. It's about the talent, and it's about the Jews. And then he said, Happy New Year, Jews. So is September Is September a Jewish holiday?
Maybe so.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know either. But I think Howie is Jewish, so that's...
Yeah. I'm sure he had reason for saying it.
Yeah, I don't think he would have just made something like that up. We then go to the Orville Lounge, and the Kristoff brothers, and they had their bedazzled neck brace.
Cool.
For the first time this season, Heidi comes and joins in the party.
Wow.
Yep, she's wearing... Do you know Heidi wore glasses?
No.
Yeah, she had glasses on while she came to the party.
Oh. Why doesn't she use those instead of her hand binoculars?
It's true. I have no idea. When I saw her wearing the glasses, I was like, that's really weird. So I did a Google search, and yeah, there's lots of pictures and articles out there about her wearing glasses.
All right.
So, who knew?
Yeah.
Chicago boys take the energy to a whole new level.
Okay.
And Heidi jumped rope and got buzzed.
Oh.
So she tried to jump rope, and then there's a problem with the jump rope, and there's a little buzz that came over the...
Oh.
that they inserted in.
Okay.
We find out, now this is 2013, we find out that the Ravens are playing the Broncos on Thursday Night Football on NBC.
Cool.
I didn't even look to see who won that game. I completely forgot to look it up. Then we get Fall Out Boy.
Okay.
And they sang a song that I have no idea what the song is.
Okay.
And then Nick was talking to Pete Wentz, I guess the lead singer.
Okay.
And Pete says he's a fan of the show and he loves Colin's Key.
Cool.
Then we get right into some results. You ready?
Okay. Yeah.
We start off with the American Military Spouses Choir.
Okay.
Brandon James.
Okay.
And Timber Brown.
Okay.
So who goes through?
Brandon James.
Brandon James goes through. Yep.
Cool.
So I looked up to see what the AMSC and Timber Brown are doing these days. Kind of where are they now?
Okay.
The choir, they have an active Facebook page, but from what I can tell, they don't really perform that frequently. They mainly share a lot of stuff on their Facebook page. So it is active. They do exist, but I didn't see a lot of performances on there.
All right.
Timber Brown, he has a YouTube channel. It didn't have a lot of videos on it, and I think the most recent one was about a year ago. And I couldn't find anything else about Timber Brown. Nothing.
Interesting.
And it looked like he also did not have any subscribers to his YouTube channel.
That's weird.
Yeah, it was very weird. It was like he's dropped off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
So, I hope Timber Brown's doing okay.
Uh-huh.
Then our next set of results are the Chicago Boys.
Okay.
And the Kristoff brothers.
Huh.
Who goes through?
The Chicago boys?
The Chicago Boys go through. And the Kristoff brothers go through.
Wow.
Both of them go through. That was a little shocking.
Cool. Well, that's good. I support that.
Yeah, I support that too. The Kristoff brothers, they were really funny because they didn't know that they were put through. They started walking off the stage, and Nick was like, come back here. And they're like looking around like, you mean we were going through?
Did he say that they were at first, or did he tell them after?
He just said, the act going through is both of you.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. So they just didn't hear the both of you part. So both of you, I guess, sounded like Chicago boys.
Okay.
So.
They don't even know who the other acts are. They just listen for their name.
That is true. They probably have no idea who anybody else is. After that, we go back to the Snapple Suite, and we talk to D'Angelo and Amanda. Do you want to guess what Nick asked them?
What do you have planned for the next round?
Yeah. No, how's that relationship going?
Yeah.
D'Angelo's like, I'm still confused.
Okay. This has been your D'Angelo and Amanda update.
Yes.
From Nick Cannon.
We found out Jimmy Rose is a little nervous. I can kind of understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot going on in the Snapple Suite this week.
Yeah.
It's kind of low key this week. They then have a little clip, not really clip, but feature, where they talk about the bromance between Howard and Howie.
This just started last night.
Well, no, they've actually talked about how it's been going on most of the season.
Okay.
More of them, they made up last night, but this was more of them kind of going back and forth, and, they kind of just showed some bits of Howie and showed a bits of Howard, and they had Howard coming through the crowd, and someone asked Howard what his favorite cookie is. We find out it's chocolate with mint.
Okay.
And they kind of they had Howard and Howie sitting in director's chairs, and their production was talking to them, and then the two of them were kind of talking about things they've observed on the show throughout the season.
Okay.
So they talked about Heidi sings between each act, and that really annoys Howard.
Mm-hmm.
We find out that the girls wear flesh-colored bras. Who knew?
Okay.
They actually put bras on Howie's head.
Okay.
Yeah. They say Mel B is constantly texting, like in between performances.
Mm-hmm.
We find out Howie spends more time with the girls than Howard. So apparently Howard doesn't like hanging out with them when he's not there.
Yeah.
Howard doesn't like that Howie talks so much. Also, Howie seems to be the more social one. Even though he's a big germaphobe, he seems to be the more social of the crew.
Yeah.
And that might be the comedian in him.
Uh-huh.
Howard hates when they're all on a bus, a boat, or a limo together. So it seems Howard doesn't really like the group. Well, I mean, not that. Just doesn't like being in closed, confined spaces with the group.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah. We then get the hashtag. They say, if you really like what we're doing, then send us the hashtag Howard and Howie moment and hashtag 2morons.
Okay.
So that's what I did today, is I sent them a tweet with that hashtag.
Nice.
Yes. We then come back from that back to the live show, and Howard mentions Nick's shiny shoes.
Cool.
Yeah, how many times have I mentioned his big red shiny shoes?
Yeah.
Howard asked Nick, how much does Mariah have to pay for his outfits each week?
How much?
Oh, they didn't answer. I think it was more of a rhetorical type question.
Okay.
We then get I Illuminate, and this was real fun to see. They kind of did a little fighting show, but whatever they do, it doesn't get old for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about I Illuminate earlier, so I actually paid attention to this more than Fall Out Boy.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
After that, we go to break and we come back and we get the last of our results. So we get Marty Brown
Okay.
versus Jimmy Rose.
Oh, that's Jimmy Rose.
That is Jimmy Rose. That's right. Mel B said he's really come into his own and he deserves to be there.
Okay.
Do you agree with that or not? Or what?
No, I'm not really his biggest fan. I was kind of surprised he had that performance that he liked, but I was watching this for the first time. I was just shocked that Jimmy Rose ever made it to the finals. So, yeah, I don't know. I wasn't the biggest fan of his.
Okay. I looked up Marty Brown just to see what he's doing now, and I was shocked at some of the stuff I found out about Marty Brown.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Did you know that he has actually released albums?
No.
Like before AGT.
Oh, okay.
Like, yeah, he released, and he was signed with MCA Records at one point.
Oh, wow.
His first album, High and Dry, peaked at number 44 on the U.S. country charts.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty shocking.
I know. He then had 3 other albums that didn't really do anything. But he was actually, where did I see that? Another one of my favorite songs by Tracy Byrd. He co-wrote the song I'm From the Country that Tracy Byrd sings. And that's like a really popular song.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, let's see. What did it actually do? It hit number 63 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100 and number 3 on the U.S. Hot Country Songs.
Wow.
So,
but his wife had to drag him to auditions, huh?
Yes. So, Marty Brown was legit in the 90s.
Huh.
He was actually doing stuff.
Maybe him and Howie Mandel were nemesis at some point.
Maybe. This was just shocking to me. Oh, in February 2016, he returned to the Grand Ole Opry.
Okay.
He performed at the Grand Ole Opry.
Wow.
That's a huge deal. Yeah. I would never have thought this about Marty Brown.
Yeah, me neither.
So, good job, Marty Brown. I applaud you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then we get Leon Etienne and Rami Lowe.
Okay.
John Wing.
Okay.
And Kenichi Abina.
That's gotta be Kenichi.
It is Kenichi. That's right.
Cool.
We found out that Leon and Rami were going to be on the Jimmy Fallon show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. And Howie said no one has brought more talent than Kenichi.
Yeah, I suppose not.
No, I completely agree with that. After that, we get Anna Christine and D'Angelo and Amanda. So this was a judge's vote. Heidi went with D'Angelo and Amanda.
Okay.
Mel B went with Anna Christine.
Okay.
Howard went with Anna Christine.
Okay.
Howie went with D'Angelo and Amanda.
I thought the judges didn't really like D'Angelo and Amanda that much.
I didn't think so either. I thought they liked Anna Christine a little bit more.
Okay.
I think they just didn't want to make a decision. I think they wanted it to come to a tie.
Yeah, maybe.
Nick told us that there was only a 0.5% vote between the two of them.
Wow.
That's pretty close.
Yeah.
And ultimately, America decides to go with... Do you want to take a guess?
Anna Christine?
D'Angelo and Amanda.
Oh, my gosh. I should have gotten that one.
Yep. So America likes the dancers.
Yeah.
So that's our top 12. So we now have 12 finalists.
Cool.
So in our finals, we're going to have Brandon James, Cammie Bradley, Catapult Entertainment, Chicago Boys, Collins Key, D'Angelo and Amanda, Forte, Jimmy Rose, Kenichi, Christoph Brothers, Innovative Force, and your boy, Taylor Williamson.
All right. Interesting lineup.
Yep. So, I've done pretty well on my top 10. I lost the military spouses this week. So, all I have left is Kenichi, Taylor, Collins, and Forte.
You want to make any final predictions as to how you think they might rank?
Well, let's see. No, not based on not seeing their finals performance.
Okay.
I guess if I really had to take a shot in the dark, and this is without, there's no telling how they're going to perform in the finals. Yeah, I'm not even going to try it. I don't even want to try it, not knowing what they're going to do in the final, or how they're going to perform in the finals.
All right.
I think this is a pretty good lineup. So yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. I know we're not going to talk again before we get to before we know the results, because pretty much we watch the show and then I watch the results. Unless you want to do another show, you want to do just a performance show and then a results show.
It's up to you. I don't know.
Well, listeners, this would be real good input from you guys. Whatever you want to hear. It'd be great for you to reach out to us and let us know what you want. Do you want to hear my final predictions after the final performances? Hit us up. Let us know. At AGTcast. Also agtcast@gmail.com.
You could probably predict it, and then we could still roll it into one episode, but however you want to do it.
Okay. Let me think about that and see if anyone hits us up first.
Okay.
But I'm real excited. Finals. They're here.
Yeah.
This is a good group.
Yeah.
I'd like to see it a little bit differently. But I think for the most part, there's probably a couple I don't know if I want to see here. I probably wouldn't have wanted to see D'Angelo and Amanda in the finals. I probably didn't want to see an Innovative Force in the finals.
Oh, yeah.
Those are probably the only two. I think the rest of them are right on par.
Well, what about this? Who's your favorite going in?
My favorite going in is Kenichi.
All right.
I think he's the bar.
Cool.
Taylor's probably up there. If Catapult can make a rebound, I think they'll be there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think the others are. I think the rest of them are playing for 4th and 5th and 6th place, whatever.
Cool.
So if I really had to pick a top 3, not knowing what they did, how they performed in their finals, it'd be Kenichi, Taylor, and Catapult. Not necessarily in that order.
All right. Well, we'll see how it shakes out.
Okay. So, anything else for tonight's show?
I guess not.
Well, we appreciate everyone listening. We will be back next week with the finals, and then we're going to take a hiatus. From what we understand, AGT is supposed to start their taping on what's today? March 3rd, I think, or March 2nd is when we're recording this. Okay, so from what we understand, AGT should start recording on March 6th. Now that's just a few days away from the time that we're recording this. We have no idea who the host is going to be. Howie Mandel told us he doesn't even know who the host is going to be at this point. So it'll be real exciting come Monday to find out who the host is and what's going to happen in the next few months. So once we finish with the finals, then we're going to take a hiatus until the show airs. I'm guessing in June. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, probably the very end of May.
Yeah, you're right. Probably around Memorial Day, early June, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds about right. But if anybody wants to reach out to us about anything during our break, please do so. So again, till next week, finals day. We'll see you all then.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe the new host could be Stephen B. Burke, CEO of NBC.
It could be. That is a good point. If we do happen to hear anything, we may break in with a podcast to talk about the new host. So
just maybe. Just maybe.
Just stick around.
Good night, America.
Have a good night.